Ah, yes. So there's nothing like waking up, getting on your phone, scrolling through social media while you eat your bowl of cereal, and finding out that a barbaric leader who died 800 years ago has been canceled on Twitter. That's right, guys. It's Newhouse here, back with another video. Today we'll be talking about the cancellation of Genghis Khan. Probably one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of on the internet. It doesn't surprise me though. Stuff like this is just going to start popping up every day as cancel culture gets more popular. So before we get into our hot topic of Genghis Khan being canceled on Twitter, I'm sure you're probably wondering, why aren't you doing your schoolwork, Newhousey? I know you said you had school, and I was supposed to be doing school today. It was supposed to be my remote learning day, but my awesome school system designed it so we have no work to do today. And I'm just going to be sitting around and doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, making YouTube content. I don't know what to do, but I guess I'm just rolling with it. And at some point this week, I'd like to rant about my school experience. Maybe that's tomorrow, maybe that's at the end of the week once I've gotten settled into school. I just want to start a new series and rant because I'm the king of complaining. My friends that went to Disney with me know that. I sincerely apologize for that. And one more thing before I get into the main content. Yesterday, Teddy02 asked for an eye reveal, so yeah, here's my eyes. I look really stupid, and they're still swollen. But hopefully I'll be healed soon. I'm going to look like a disaster for my school picture. Anyways, so without further ado, let's get into this main topic, this weird situation on social media that's just outrageous, I feel like. So if you're not aware of what cancel culture is, and you've just been living under a rock for a long time now, it's basically when someone finds something old, maybe offensive that you said or did in the past, and brings it into the light. This happens with celebrities and stuff, and they get canceled. Everyone hates them. It's not good for the person that's sitting at the top with the popularity. Now, social media gets progressively dumber every day. People are trying to cancel each other left and right, and now it's come down to canceling someone who's been dead for 800 years, and I think that's kind of crazy. I found this article while scrolling through Instagram. Someone had reposted it or something like that. I just had to look up for myself. It turns out it's true. There are a bunch of articles covering it. In fact, I took some summary notes here. These are just some quotes from the articles that I can read to you to give the full explanation of kind of the situation that occurred on Twitter. I didn't see it directly on Twitter, and by the time I got around to looking it up, the threads had been put on private or deleted. But just the outcome of this entire situation is pretty funny, and I can't wait to get to it. The political views of Genghis Khan just didn't mesh with the 21st century. Nearly 800 years after his death, the brutal Mongolian ruler was cancelled on Twitter. Khan was born in that voice crack. Khan was born in 1162, the son of a Mongol chief. He died in 1227, then 793 years after his death, he became the latest victim of cancel culture. A Twitter user pointed out the brutal tactics he used to conquer his empire and said he should be vilified, not honored. Those tweets have now been set to protected status, meaning only approved followers can see them. So yeah, that's what unfolded on Twitter, this entire situation, and I haven't dove into how people responded to it because that's probably the funniest part. But before I get into that, I'd like to read what the Twitter user actually said. I'm not going to do names or anything so you don't attack them, but you can easily find the Twitter user that tweeted all of this. And yes, I've been saying tweet a lot. I apologize for that. But here's the exact wording. Genghis Khan did to Central Asia what Islamic invaders did to India, maybe worse. He single-handedly killed 11% of the world population at the time. Yet some want to glorify him as a hero conqueror. That's your personal choice. But objectively, Genghis Khan was a barbarian. Now, I've never heard of anyone in the world who's been like, yeah, that Genghis Khan, he was a great guy. We should build giant statues of him and just be like, yeah, that was a great dude. No, that's never been the case. We learn about him in history class. He killed a lot of people. He wasn't a great dude. I've never ever heard of anyone trying to glorify him as a great conqueror. I've heard people say he was a conqueror, in history. He conquered a lot, but no one's glorifying him as a hero or an amazing person. And sure, there might be some fan page, some wiki page where there's like, this guy is great, some fandom or something, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the general people in the world. If you have a different view and you're like, yeah, I really like Genghis Khan, I support his views, then feel free to tell me, but I just don't think that's really a big thing in this world. Because of how ridiculous this entire Twitter situation was, people mostly responded with memes of like, oh, Genghis Khan finding out he's been canceled 800 years after his death, and just all these great memes. They're super funny. I retweeted a couple of them. If you want to go follow me on Twitter, it'll be in the description. And of course, you can just look it up on Google, look up Genghis Khan canceled on Twitter. You can dive into these multiple threads of people just making fun of this user. And they basically got canceled themselves for trying to shed light on Genghis Khan being a bad person. I'm not exactly sure what to say. And it's not really surprising to me. This is where our world's coming to on the internet. We're probably just going to start a trend of canceling historic figures. You know, there's other conspiracies like Helen Keller doesn't exist, which I might have to do. Just a lot of dumb stuff like that on the internet. But if you enjoyed this video, just please give me more suggestions on stuff to cover. I'd be happy to do internet conspiracy theories. I enjoyed researching this one, even though it wasn't really in depth. I just got to dive in and look at these multiple threads on Twitter and news articles and all this dumb stuff over such a stupid tweet of this guy was bad, even though almost everyone knows that. But anyways, this has been an awesome internet experience with Newhousey. I'll see you in the next video.